While many cultural artifacts are admired for their beauty and history, some carry spiritual meanings that conflict with Christian beliefs. What might be hanging on your wall or sitting on your shelf that carries hidden spiritual dangers? In this video, we'll uncover 6 cultural artifacts Christians should never display and explain why they're spiritually dangerous. If you find this content valuable, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Tiki statues. These statues are common in Polynesian culture and are often displayed as exotic decorations in bars, homes, or gardens. However, these carvings have a much deeper meaning in their original context. Tiki statues represent deities or ancestral spirits in Polynesian mythology and are traditionally used in rituals to invoke protection, fertility, or blessings. Each Tiki statue typically represents a specific god or spirit. For example, Ku, the god of war, is believed to grant strength and victory, while Lono, the god of fertility and peace, is invoked for prosperity and agricultural success. These gods are central to Polynesian spiritual beliefs, and the statues serve as a way to honor and connect with them. Tiki statues are not merely artistic expressions, they are spiritual tools, often carved with great care and intention to embody the essence of the deity they represent. In Polynesian traditions, these statues are placed in sacred spaces or altars where rituals and offerings are made to ensure divine favor or protection. Historically, Tiki statues were also seen as guardians, watching over villages and individuals. Their imposing designs were believed to ward off evil spirits and safeguard homes or communal spaces. In some Polynesian communities, the carving process itself was considered a sacred act, involving prayers and rituals to imbue the statue with spiritual power. This context underscores the deeply spiritual purpose of Tiki statues and highlights why they hold more significance than mere decoration. The Bible explicitly forbids the creation or veneration of idols. Displaying them in your home, even without intent to honor their spiritual origins, inadvertently aligns your space with beliefs and practices that are incompatible with faith in God. Number 2. Totem poles. Often associated with indigenous cultures of North America, totem poles are carved wooden structures that depict animals, spirits, or ancestors. They are celebrated for their artistic and cultural significance, but their spiritual roots should not be overlooked. Traditionally, totem poles serve as symbols of ancestral worship or representations of guardian spirits believed to protect tribes or families. Each figure on a totem pole holds spiritual significance, often representing a connection to the spirit world. For example, the eagle may symbolize a divine messenger, while the bear might represent strength and protection. Other carvings might depict wolves for loyalty, salmon for abundance, or even mythical creatures tied to tribal lore. The intricate designs of totem poles are rich in symbolism and often reflect the spiritual values of the communities that create them. The poles are not merely decorative but are integral to ceremonies and rituals meant to honor ancestors or invoke spiritual guidance. In some traditions, the raising of a totem pole is a sacred act accompanied by feasts, dances, and prayers, emphasizing its spiritual importance. By their very nature, these poles promote a belief in the intercession of spirits or entities other than God. Displaying a totem pole in a Christian home symbolizes participation in or endorsement of these practices. Number 3. The Egyptian Scarab. The scarab beetle was a powerful symbol in ancient Egyptian culture, often associated with protection, renewal, and the afterlife. Scarab amulets were commonly placed on mummies or worn as jewelry to invoke protection from spiritual harm and ensure a safe passage into the afterlife. These items were deeply tied to Egyptian religious practices and their pantheon of gods. The scarab was also linked to Khepri, the Egyptian god of the rising sun, who was believed to roll the sun across the sky each day, much like the scarab beetle rolls its dung ball. Scarabs were not only seen as symbols of renewal, but were also thought to embody the eternal cycle of life and death, a concept central to Egyptian spirituality. These artifacts were often inscribed with prayers or hieroglyphs meant to invoke divine protection, further cementing their use as spiritual tools. Scarab artifacts are not just remnants of ancient history. They are spiritual symbols rooted in a belief system that venerates multiple gods and focuses on manipulating the afterlife. Their presence signifies alignment with pagan traditions that contradict biblical teachings. The Bible clearly warns against adopting pagan practices, no matter how fascinating or artistic they may appear. In Deuteronomy 12:30-31, God commands his people, "Be careful not to be ensnared by inquiring about their gods, saying, 'How do these nations serve their gods? We will do the same.'" Number 4. Hindu deity statues. Statues of Hindu gods, such as Shiva, Vishnu, or Lakshmi, are often admired for their intricate designs and cultural significance. However, these statues are not merely decorative, they are central to Hindu worship and represent specific deities believed to hold divine power. For instance, Shiva is known as the destroyer and transformer, often depicted in dynamic poses symbolizing cosmic cycles, while Lakshmi is revered as the goddess of wealth and prosperity, portrayed with gold coins and lotus flowers as emblems of abundance and purity. In Hinduism, deity statues are not just symbolic, they are often treated as living representations of the gods. Devotees perform rituals, offer food, light incense, and recite prayers before these statues, believing that the divine presence resides within them. These acts are seen as vital to receiving blessings, guidance, and protection from the gods they depict. The statues are commonly installed in homes, temples, and even businesses as focal points of devotion. Bringing such statues into a Christian home, even as art, can inadvertently invite the spiritual philosophies and practices associated with them. The Bible warns against mixing worship of the one true God with the practices of other religions. In 2 Corinthians 6:16, Paul asks, "What agreement is there between the temple of God and idols?" For Christians, displaying a Hindu deity statue undermines the biblical command to worship God alone and risks blending incompatible spiritual beliefs. Number 5. Feng Shui artifacts. Feng Shui, an ancient Chinese practice, is often marketed as a way to harmonize energy in your home. Objects like bagua mirrors, wind chimes, and lucky cats are among the most recognized tools used to channel or balance qi, the invisible life force believed to flow through all living things. Feng Shui's spiritual underpinnings involve complex rituals and superstitions aimed at manipulating unseen forces. For instance, the bagua mirror, a circular or octagonal mirror often adorned with trigrams from the I Ching, Book of Changes, is strategically placed near doors or windows to deflect negative energy or harmful spirits. These mirrors are considered protective shields, but their placement must align with specific feng shui principles to maximize their effectiveness. Misplacement can disrupt the flow of qi, inadvertently inviting misfortune. Similarly, the maneki neko, lucky cat, a figurine with a waving paw, is said to beckon good fortune and wealth. The direction of the paw's wave and the color of the cat are thought to determine the specific type of luck attracted: gold for wealth, white for happiness, and black for protection from evil spirits. Wind chimes, another common feng shui artifact, are used not only for their melodic sounds but for their supposed ability to redirect qi. Placed near entrances or in areas with stagnant energy, wind chimes are thought to disperse negative vibrations and attract positive energy, depending on their material and the number of rods. These practices assume that inanimate objects hold inherent spiritual power, a worldview at odds with Christianity, which teaches that God alone governs the spiritual and physical realms. Feng Shui's emphasis on manipulating energy flows through material objects reflects a reliance on superstition rather than trust in God's sovereignty. Number 6. Chinese dragon statues. In Chinese culture, dragons are revered as powerful and auspicious creatures, symbolizing strength, prosperity, and control over natural elements like water and weather. Dragon statues are often displayed in homes or businesses as talismans to attract good fortune and ward off bad luck. In Feng Shui, dragons are considered potent symbols of energy flow and are strategically placed to enhance harmony. Despite their cultural significance, dragons also have spiritual connotations tied to control over supernatural forces. In Christianity, dragons are frequently associated with evil and spiritual opposition. Revelation 12:9 describes Satan as a dragon, stating, "The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. While the cultural context of Chinese dragons differs from their biblical symbolism, their use in spiritual practices like feng shui conflicts with the Christian reliance on God's sovereignty. Displaying a dragon statue in a Christian home may inadvertently endorse beliefs about spiritual power and prosperity that are incompatible with biblical teachings. These statues are more than decorative items. They carry deep spiritual significance that should not be ignored. As Christians, it's essential to reflect on the items in our homes and consider whether they align with our commitment to worship and honor God alone. As Joshua 24:15 reminds us, "But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that helps you navigate your faith in today's world. Let us know in the comments if you've encountered any of these artifacts or other items you believe Christians should avoid.